Uh, what a Smackdown, Nothing new, just another shitty ass show that I have to go through. Again, we don't see John Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Punk. We don't see our top stars here once again. So it is what it is. We just gotta deal with it. First, we start with Solo Sikoa, Fat Solo, Jacob Fat Pooh, and Jeff Bazoo, whatever the hell his name is. JC Mateo, they come out with Solo Sikoa explaining again about the Bloodline storyline and getting portrayed. He says he's going to win Money in the Bank and all this and that. The same old shit he's always been saying for the past year. I got portrayed by Roman. I carried the Bloodline. He betrayed us, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Solo Sikoa says, I want to suck your balls, Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I want you to say I love you. I want to say I love you and I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Solo then says, I respect you. I love you, Jacob. Oh, I respect you. He begs Jacob to say I love you. And Jacob then says, I love you, but in a different tone, right? I don't like the I love you Solo thing, right? It's really weird. I think Jacob Fatu's tired of saying that shit either way. I think he's sick of that shit. It's really fucking weird if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Up next, we go to a match with Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green and versus Michin. The winner will go to Money in the Bank. This match was boring as fuck. I just watched the highlights on YouTube, so I don't understand. Why do they got a spoiler the fucking match? Why don't you just say it's Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea versus Michin without telling us Alexa Bliss is advancing or has won her rights to go to the Money in the Bank? You know what I'm saying? So now a lot of people are not gonna watch this highlight. You know what I mean? Bullshit. So Alexa Bliss won the match, and she will go to the Money in the Bank. In my personal opinion, I don't mind if she wins the Money in the Bank. Like Chelsea Green made Money in the Bank? No. Michin? No. In my personal opinion, Alexa Bliss deserves this, and she deserves a better character. I don't like her character now. I think it's stupid, but I just want the old Alexa Bliss back. All right. Up next, we deal with an interview with Wade Barrett, the Ballhammer. With R-Truth, right? He interviews R-Truth. Wade Barrett asks R-Truth. He's like, R-Truth, what has been going through your mind, man? I'm sure your childhood hero, John Cena, has been giving you a lot of hell the past last week. Explain that to me. R-Truth says, man, it's been a lot of pressure, dog. Family, friends, bills, all that comes up in your career is something that you love. But if there's hard times in your life, you can depend on John Cena. Right? He says, John Cena told me to never give up. He said, your time is now. And there was a big light out there. Wade just says, bro, what is wrong with you? Listen to yourself. You sound retarded. You protected Cena from getting punk kicked. And now at the press conference, Cena threw you through the table. R-Truth then says, at that press conference, when I got hit through the table, that's the John Cena I don't know. The John Cena I know would never do that. So at Saturday Night Main Event, I will face John Cena for the WWE title. Great. Just a waste of time. Just a waste of fucking time. R-Truth versus Cena. I just said this in my last video. I don't want to see R-Truth versus John Cena. If you are going to see this match, make it happen on Smackdown in a squash match. But Saturday Main Event, we could have easily had John Cena versus Randy Orton again. We could have easily had John Cena and Randy build their match tonight. Have them here to do their thing, right? We got a little beatdown, all that shit. Let them have a beatdown. But no, we got to do it. R-Truth, a fucking retard, being presented as a dumbass facing John Cena. Bro, I'm not trying to shit on R-Truth, but it's the same thing with Hornswoggle. That's like having Hornswoggle versus, I don't know, fucking Hornswoggle versus Randy Orton, you know what I'm saying? And Randy Orton just R-kills his dude or just kicks him in his face. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that, for example. Just think about that. It's just another comedian match, and I don't want to see this. Up next, we have Jason Mateo versus LA Knight. This has been a bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, I didn't even like the match. Let's just be honest. So, Jason Mateo wins his debut with a tour of Island to LA Knight 1, 2, 3. Nobody cares. It's just a regular old match, right? Up next, we have a Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss promo. Nothing basic here. Alexa Bliss is like, I want to help you out tonight, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Charlotte's like, we barely know each other, girl, blah, blah, blah. this and that, just a bunch of back and forth. Nobody really gives a fuck. I don't understand what they're saying here. It's probably from the days in NXT. So then Julia comes up. So she is the new member of SmackDown. Nick Aldis introduces us to her like we don't know who the fuck she is. Nobody cares about who Julia is. Let's just be real. Up next, we have Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. Black basically just gets jobbed out and beat up all the time, but kicks Carmelo Hayes until then the Miz comes from behind and attacks him. You know, I don't understand this, bro. Why do you have the Miz force? Why do you force the Miz to be in a feud with Aleister Black? I just don't understand. The Miz should be a United States champion feuding with Damian Priest or Solo Fat Sikoa. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you have him jobbing out and beating up Aleister Black, who Aleister Black would never draw money for this company and would never be a champion in this company. All I see him is being like an Intercontinental champion for like 2 days and lose that shit, basically. Nobody cares. This is just a waste of time. Up next, we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a promo. Damian Priest says Drew was childish and so petty, he likes to bitch and cry and complain, right? He says, we need a conclusion. Saturday night main event, it's going to be a steel cage match. I want to hurt you bad, that I will end your career. Drew McIntyre comes out and cuts a promo. He says that little video package is only silly. You know, that just reflected the history of our beef. No one cares about you, right? He says, I've been trying to retire you for months. I've been trying to take you out of this company, but officially, on May 24th, I will end your career, right? So basically, it's just a bunch of back and forth. In my opinion, Drew McIntyre should be a world champion, at least. You know what I mean? I don't like how he's feuding with Damian Priest in a meaningless-ass feud. That don't make any sense. You know, let's be honest here. Drew McIntyre needs to win, so this could really upgrade his career. He doesn't need another loss here. He's been losing to Jimmy Uso, losing to Jey Uso. So I'm not understanding this shit. It just doesn't make any sense. So after this match, let's just move on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Up next, we have Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix. This is one of the worst qualifying matches of all time. Now imagine this. A luchador that nobody really fucking knows, right? Besides the neckbeards, and nobody really talks about. And two fat Samoans who barely has finishers, who barely can fucking fight in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, at least Solo Sikoa could put on a good wrestling match, but let's be honest, he's just a fat ass dude, bro. I don't like how he's being pushed as this tribal chief thing. It doesn't make any sense, right? Basically, Jimmy and Rey Fenix fight the whole time, while Solo Sikoa is outside the ring, out of breath, and eats a donut, and he comes in the ring and just spikes Rey Fenix and gets the win, right? LA Knight comes out and attacks Jeff, and it just leads to that match I just said. LA Knight versus Jeff earlier in the match, right? I don't know if this match was earlier or in the beginning. I don't even care, to be honest. I was just watching the highlights, so I just needed to do a quick review, because this SmackDown was straight ass. And the main event was Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, which I'm not going to see, which I did not see, and I'm not going to talk about. Because again, why don't we have our stars main eventing SmackDown? Why the hell do you have Tiffany Stratton facing Nia Jax, bro? We could have easily had this match at Backlash. We got to keep dealing with 5-match formats. And I'm getting sick and tired of 5 matches at a pay-per-view. We could have easily had like a 10, 8-match fucking pay-per-view. You could have had that match on a fucking pay-per-view. You can't even have Jey Uso compete at Money in the Bank or Backlash. He has to compete at Saturday night main event and on Raw. Which is fucking stupid. That again, this world title doesn't make any sense. This is just a mid-card title. And in my personal opinion, the fucking champion John Cena should at least face R-Truth tonight. You know, in my opinion, we should just have John Cena versus R-Truth tonight. That way we could just move on to Cena versus Orton, and John Cena could just get R-Truth out the way. You know what I mean? But instead, WWE can't come up with anything realistic and make fucking sense. That no, we're not gonna put R-Truth in this shit. He is being portrayed as a retard, so he needs to be on the jobber seat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, feuding with Carmelo Hayes or The Miz. I don't care. But the point is this, right? SmackDown, WWE has no idea what they're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jey Uso doesn't wrestle at SummerSlam. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't wrestle at Survivor Series this year, because at this point, like, the world title should just retire. You should just take that world title and Universal title, shove it up somebody's ass, and make a new championship and call it the WWE Championship. That shit's supposed to be the main event. That's supposed to be
in every pay-per-view. But no, we're not getting that anymore. So I don't like how that's being presented. And like I said, a women's match would not save SmackDown, all because we only have 5 matches at Backlash. No, it's not gonna do it. It won't cut it. Like I said, this SmackDown was complete shit. And the only thing that happened is that Fat Solo is gonna go to Money in the Bank. So will Solo Sikoa become Money in the Bank? I don't really care. He's probably gonna lose. So yeah, let's just keep it real.